wanted it to be a tool that, genetics is great because it's the only test that you ever have to run one time.
So we know genetics are playing a role, and it's scary because you look at those big tests, right, that we all started with. And I think what's happening is people go home and go, great, I'm just going to sit around and wait for, the shoe to drop and the disease to hit that I'm now prone for. And I think we've come a long way to not sit around and be scared, but to actually utilize the information. So talk about the 100 SNP test that you put together and why you picked the SNPs that you picked and how we can use it better than a big, massive test that just sits in a drawer and scares us.
And so I think it's really important for docs in our ability at PHP to be able to help, doctors like yourself is to actually focus on the ones that you can make a positive effect on through diet, lifestyle, exercise, and even supplementation. And, to understand, what is going on in your patient's bodies. I wanted it to be a tool that, genetics is great because it's the only test that you ever have to run one time when it's actually being interpreted right. So what I really love about the test is that it's a test that a doctor can use on a new patient to get a baseline of, well, who are they? It's also a really great test for those patients where you're like 90%, you have them at 90%, but you kind of can't get them to 100. And it really will uncover what maybe you've been missing. And when we put these genes together, it was really important to give you ones that would really be able to be reactionary when you need to be, right? But what we wanted to do was, like a lot of other genetic tests out there, they give you the information, but they actually don't tell you what should I do to see or validate expressions. We tell you the SNP. We tell you what signs and symptoms might be associated with expression of it. We also tell you what lab to run if you want to see if there is actually expression going on. And then we tell you what products that we have to support that gene should you choose to use them.
I love this. And really, to me, as a practitioner, I actually don't think genetics is simple at all. And one of the things I know I found is when we run the test, to your point, if we run it first, it gives me a really great way to guide where to go, right? But sometimes even more importantly, it confirms where I'm telling the patient to go because we run, let's say, micronutrient testing or hormone panels and we see dysfunction there. Then even sometimes we backtrack to the genetics and it's like, oh, this could be the reason you're having trouble in the first place because of the type of expression you're having. Makes sense, right? So not only now do we treat what we're finding on the test, but we're treating what we found in the genetic space so that even if we fix the problem, they don't genetically express again later.